Alright, ladies and gentlemen, thanks for checking out my channel. Appreciate it. Make sure you also go over there and check out Pistons Mike and Cool at Locked On Pistons as well. Remember to like, share, and subscribe if you haven't already. I just want to give my analysis. I don't know if you call it analysis, but just want to give you my outlook as far as the Detroit Pistons season is concerned. I know the regular season is getting ready to open here soon, and just some of the things that I noticed during the preseason and where we need to go from here. Bear with me. I'm going to be reading through my notes here on this one. Remember to like, share, and subscribe. I really appreciate you checking this out. When comparing my Detroit Pistons to what I have been seeing from other teams among the league this preseason, better yet around the league this preseason, I came to the conclusion that we are too slow to compete. It scares me how up-tempo and purpose-driven the other teams are, to the point where I fear we will be at the bottom of the NBA totem pole at season's end unless we change some things soon. We came out very flat in our preseason opener against the Knicks, which was a disappointment as it was on national television and the team looked ill-prepared, and it shouldn't be coming out that lackluster looking after a long off season. So got to make some changes. Just about every team has come out the gate running. Even Orlando Magic, will more than likely leapfrog into the playoff discussions. I'll go more into that franchise in another video. Basically, we are too slow and undersized at several positions, and I was not a huge fan of the Jaden Ivey pick. I thought we should have taken a different player, which I'm going to get into, but I'm a huge Jaden Usher. Sorry, almost gave it away there. I'm a huge Jaden Ivey fan now. It looks to me like this is the direction the franchise needs to move into as far as the style of play. I believe he will be the face of the Detroit Pistons moving forward. His up-tempo style of play is exactly what it's going to take for this team overall to compete this season. He and Killian Hayes are great at running the floor on offense, and I know Killian Hayes has to work on his defense, but they're both good at getting back on defense. And I think pretty soon we're going to be glad that we kept Killian around. There are a couple players out there that fit this run and gun style and will complement Hayes and Ivy and give us some added size as well. The Showtime Los Angeles Lakers is what the Detroit Pistons are going to have to become moving forward. That old style of playing, that half-court offense is not going to work nowadays. Teams are coming out of the gate aggressive, like I said before, and before you know it, you're playing catch-up. You're down 15, 20 points. So going to have to adapt to what's going on in the league now. It'll be a time and place for the slow ball or for the half-court offensive sets, but for now, we got to get out running. I'm not certain if our current coaching staff can coach the team in this manner, however. But back to the players I was talking about. Number one is Jordan Usher, a 6'7" explosive guard who went undrafted out of Georgia Tech. I really wanted the Pistons to draft him. You guys go ahead and take a look at some of his highlights on YouTube and imagine him alongside Jaden Ivey running the floor. It will be a modern-day version of Jordan and Pippen. He worked out for the Lakers over the summer. They have a couple of interviews with him when we was in the Lakers camp over the summer. And he was also on the Utah Jazz Summer League roster, but he wasn't the focal point. They had their guys picked already that they wanted, but it was good to see him out there getting a quote-unquote chance. But like I said, they never had any intention on signing him. I really wish Troy Weaver would get Jordan Usher in the Detroit Pistons uniform, as he is still available. Jordan Usher averaged 14.8 points per game, with an almost 50% field goal percentage his senior season, in 32 games, averaging 31.7 minutes per game. He shot 34% on threes with 6.5 rebounds per game, 2.9 assists per game, and averaged 1.5 steals per game. All of which is a feat when you are playing against the likes of North Carolina, Duke, Louisville, Notre Dame, Miami, Wake Forest, Virginia, Florida State, Clemson, and Syracuse in the ACC. This past draft saw the number 1 overall pick come from the ACC in Banchero going to the Orlando Magic. So he faced very good, stiff competition. He's very good at creating his own shot and not afraid to take it to the rack. Another player who fits this style of tempo went undrafted, and I watched a few of his college games last season. His name is Nate Watson out of Providence. He mirrors Jalen Duren, but with a heck of a lot more intensity. He's currently in the NBL. If the Detroit Pistons can add him, that gives us a big who could definitely run the floor and provide us with more interior defense. We can't keep getting beat in the paint. Teams are almost doubling us up as far as points in the paint are concerned this season, and this preseason, and it's not going to get any better when the season starts. But back to Nate Watson, I've never seen a player who plays with the same intensity and ferociousness as LeBron James until I saw Watson. Nate Watson averaged 13.3 points per game his senior season at Providence, shooting 54% from the field, and averaged 5.2 rebounds per game. If and when Nate Watson makes it into the NBA and they compare him to LeBron James, remember, you heard it here first. At 6'10", 260 pounds, he would complement Jalen Duren in the low post. And another thing about Nate Watson, he was a graduate student. I mean, he played 5 years of ball in college, so he has a maturity level for the NBA. I listed him when I was doing my draft review. Not my draft review, but when I was actually scouting players. And I had him listed as one of the NBA-ready players in last year's draft. And like I said, he plays in the NBL now. And I'm not sure what the process is, but I think that would be a great addition to the Detroit Pistons. These two players pretty much fell in their laps if they want them. And like I said, I think they will contribute and be able to address some of the needs that we may have going forward into the season. Now, we do actually have some players currently on the roster, such as Diallo, Bay, Knox II, that are capable of playing that up-tempo style. Also, Stanley Umude isn't seeing much time, but I watched him this past season at Arkansas, and he can ball as well. Third player is Jared Houston out of Emerson College. He's a dark horse. They really don't look at players from Division II too much, but this guy is the real deal. He's not a modern day version. I'd say he plays similar to Nikola Jokic. He'll give you the blocks, he'll give you get you the rebounds, and he can score from the inside and outside as well. He would be a great fit for the Detroit Pistons. As for Kemba Walker, the Kemba Walker situation, do you think we should keep him? He is a hungry veteran, and if you get those veterans that's been chasing that elusive title on your team, that's an added edge or a chip on the shoulder that you have. Also, what's the hold up with us offering Boogie Cousins a contract? We could use him. He's still out there as a free agent. I know some people may say, well, he's up there in age, but you take a look at the Denver Nuggets and the impact Deandre Jordan and Green is having for the Denver Nuggets. I mean, they're going to be an integral part of their success this upcoming season. No, that's Jeff Green with the Denver Nuggets. Jeff Green and DeAndre Jordan. And I remember saying the Detroit Pistons should have took a look at DeAndre Jordan. A lot of people went in and said, well, he's aged, he's a has-been and whatnot, but looking at what he's doing for the Denver Nuggets in the paint, man, we really could use him right now. but he's there. Boogie Cousins is still available, and I remember some people put in the comment section that we should have tried to get Hassan Whiteside from the Utah Jazz as well, but we didn't make that move. I felt we should have made that move and got him. And like I said, as we see now in the paint, we're getting our butts kicked, and we got to get somebody in there that can intimidate guys from coming in, getting these walk-in layups. Who's in, who's out, I'll let you decide in the comment section. Put in who you think should be out. And like I said, this is just my opinion on it from what I see, and I don't want to go through a long season. I mean, imagine having to look at these upcoming games this season and having to watch what we watched against the New York Knicks in the opening preseason game. It's going to be a long year. It's going to be a long season. Couple more comments here. I believe Armando Bacot should be our number one priority in the upcoming draft. That's my opinion. I don't think we need to look anywhere else. As this roster stands now the way it is, Armando Bacot may be the last piece that makes this thing work. So we'll just have to see how that goes. How would I like to see our roster? And I know we're gonna have to make some moves, but like I said, we ain't going nowhere unless we do. And this is the way I would like to see the roster set up going forward. If I don't mention their name, they're not here anymore. So understand they're not here if you don't hear their name. So Sadiq Bey is here as a small forward. Bojan Bogdanovic is here as a small forward. I'm glad that we made that deal to bring him in Detroit. He was a player that I was high up as far as sorry about that. Focus on something else too. But as far as a player that I felt we should have added, as far as trades are concerned, he's one I had on the list. So I'm pretty glad that Troy Weaver made that move. Cade Cunningham is still here. We got a lot of point guards on this roster. Diallo is still here. Jalen Duren is still here, of course. Killian Hayes, like I said, I think we're going to be glad that the organization kept him around. Jaden Ivey is a must. He shouldn't be going anywhere for the next 10 to 15 years. Kevin Knox II is still here as a forward. Isaiah Livers, Nerlens Noel, Stanley and Moody, Kemba Walker, Jordan Usher, Nate Watson, DeMarcus Cousins, and as far as the two-way players are concerned, Jared Houston would be one. That's the guy I was telling you about out of Emerson College. You can look him up. There's a couple of videos on him, but he's able to get up and down on the floor. We have him on a two-way contract, and possibly Stanley and Moody on a two-way contract. Kind of still getting educated on how that goes. I knew we do have the guy from Bohem guy from Syracuse. I'm not sure how that's going to work out, but that's my roster that I would like to see us have moving forward so that we can be competitive. We'll have size with Duren, Noel, Nate Watson, DeMarcus Cousins, and Jared Houston. That gives us size and bulk down in the low block. So, well-rounded roster. One thing I can say is that Kentucky players, former Kentucky Wildcats, get it done in the NBA. And with this roster right here, not even with my suggestion or what I'm looking at, we already have three former Wildcats in Diallo, Knox II, and Nerlens Noel on the roster. And adding a fourth and DeMarcus Cousins would even make that better. Like I said, this is my thoughts and my opinion moving forward. I do wish them the best of luck this upcoming season. And I hate to see Marvin Bagley go down. I hope he gets better and is able to return. But let me know what you think in the comment section. And like I said, the Detroit Pistons players, hey, keep your heads up, man. Get out there, ball, give it all you got. Don't be intimidated by anybody out there. You all are professionals just as much as they are, and you can beat anybody on any given night. Just go out and give it your all. Don't let nothing get you guys down, and hopefully we can get into the playoffs this upcoming season. Thanks for listening.
I gotta tell you, I'm a full-time paper chaser, showing no emotions.